The New Poultry Inspector by W.H. Buzzard. A farmer and his wife were known throughout the county for the plump Orpington chickens they raised. Their bird always won first prize at the Gaines County fairs, as they were well fed with only the best USDA organic non-GMO grains and fish meals. Plus, their lives were spent stress-free without a care over the usual hungry eyes watching them out of the shrubbery. The reason for this was because the couple's coop was the most secure in all the county, surrounded by razor wire atop a chain-link fence with a 4-inch concrete footing. Predators could not dig under the fence, nor chew through the heavy-gauge wire, nor climb over without being sliced to pieces on razor-sharp edges. As far as hawks, owls, falcons, and eagles went, an overhead electrified wire net so discouraged threats from the air that the winged meat-eaters hardly flew above the farm anymore. The couple's favorite pet chickens were kept inside the house and roosted between the couple at night, while one cock roamed the place like a security guard, and at first daylight would perch on the bed rail and trumpet a loud cock-a-doodle-doo. Pet chickens were never for sale or served at family meals, but upon death were given a ceremony and buried in a special cemetery the farmer had built beneath a mimosa tree with a fowl statue out front. One evening, there was a noise on the front porch that alerted the couple, as it was too late at night for normal visitors or for customers that dropped by for eggs. The farmer peeked out the window, but the dark night was too intense to make out anything. His wife, meantime, cautiously eased open the door enough to peek out and was joined by her husband. Both gasped. At the farthest edge of the rectangle of light from the open door, a presence stirred beyond what was visible. Whether man or animal, safe or unsafe, bear or panther, who knew? Alarmed, the couple leaped back and were about to slam the door and drop the 2x4 wooden bar into its slot when an odd sound stopped them. Singing? No, not singing actually, but humming, and too disjointed to be a tune, but more half purring, half mumbling absently while performing some other task. The visitor, or whoever, acted as if completely unaware of the couple in the doorway, so that, evidently giving in to curiosity, the farmer's wife opened the door wider. The husband, on the other hand, reacted with more caution. He looked for a means of defense, first grabbing a kitchen table chair, but shook his head and put the bulky item back, then picked up a straw broom and, shrugging his shoulders, handed it to his wife. Finally, snatching up a stapler gun he'd been using yesterday to hang curtains. From the grim look on his face, even though they'd given up their shotgun and .30-06 Springfield rifle in a government-sponsored buyback program, he was taking no chances. The wife stood in a batter stance with broom firmly in hand, while her husband held the stapler at his side, ready to slam the doors shut at the slightest wrong move. "Who's out there?" he called in a no-nonsense tone. "What do you want?" "Oh, pardon me," the apologetic voice returned from the direction of the eyes in the dark. "Well, hello, I didn't know you answered the door yet." The stranger's voice had a weird kind of baying quality, at times coming close to a howl. So the farmer's wife made a move to snatch the door out of her husband's hand and slam it. Wait, a canine-sounding yap stopped her. "I'm the new resident poultry inspector. Don't shut the door. I've come to warn you of a serious threat. There's a bird flu epidemic about, and it's a very dangerous ailment. Not only could your whole flock be wiped out, but the disease has also spread to humans, so the both of you could be infected as well." "Bird flu?" the farmer's wife asked, who, from the look of vitamins on a table across the kitchen, was something of a health nut. Are you sure? Oh, quite, he yapped in return. I've never heard of any such like, the farmer added. Are you guys on the level? What's this all about? Oh, it's a most deadly ailment, the voice out of the dark assured the couple. Whole chicken farms have been wiped out. My job is to warn people. Who are you again? The wife inquired with a note of suspicion. Poultry inspector from Washington, D.C. I work for the government, so you can be sure and trust me. You've got some idea, the farmer asked in almost a demand. Believe you me, I'd like to show you, but I had an accident down the way and ended up in that creek that's out of its banks. I nearly drowned. That's all that's left. He showed a wet paper that could have been anything. Too bad about your misfortune, the wife said, but no idea means we can't talk to you further. Goodbye. Okay, but it'll be your loss. If you want to take a chance on losing your whole flock, not to mention your lives as well, that's your business. But remember, if just one bird comes up with a disease, we have to smoke every last one of them. That means burn up, including those inside the house. In that case, we can't see who we're talking with in the dark, the farmer objected. Come in closer, into the light. The visitor took a step closer, so his long nose, deep-set eyes, and one pear-shaped ear became visible. Child! The wife screamed, holding up her broom as if it'd swing at any second. No, I'm not, the visitor countered. I beg your pardon, madame. Folks are always saying that about my face, and frankly, I find the comparison extremely narrow-minded and offensive. I can't help how I look. Haven't you ever heard of the Elephant Man and how everyone made fun of him? Can you come in closer, the farmer inquired, sounding suspicious. The visitor complied. I apologize for my wife screaming at you, but in her defense, there is a certain resemblance. Although I admit all the coyotes I ever saw were so half-starved, they look like walking rib cages. You, on the other hand, have on the silkiest fur coat like mink, and look so prosperous and healthy, you remind me more of a St. Bernard than anything. Not you too, the stranger howled in a prolonged wail. I'm not who either of you say I am. You're both mistaken. The man and his wife exchanged questioning glances. The voice was that of a desert wolf, but the words were so reasonable and sensible that to argue seemed rude. Both the farmer and his wife had been raised with better manners than that. Nevertheless, the man held on to the stapler just in case, and his wife had not released her hold on the door or the broom. It's true, the visitor carried on. The way its fur-covered face moved in and out of the light made it difficult to concentrate, as 1 minute the face would be there and the next minute gone. I've been knocking on doors up and down the neighborhood, introducing myself in an attempt to know folks better in the hopes they would give up their preconceived ideas. It's late, I know, but I've come a long way trying to change prejudices. Prejudices, the farmer's wife gasped. Ye gads, what prejudices do you mean? Isn't it obvious? The visitor yowled. Wherever I go, I run into the same closed-mindedness, who've been taught stereotypes and refuse to see anyone different than they've been taught. Oh, that kind, she smirked. Don't worry about us. We're not like them. Are you sure? The visitor asked. Sure as sure can be, she returned. Then what's your opinion of who you first mistook me for? Coyotes. That's easy, she laughed. They're sly, sneaking livestock killers that will attack small children, eat cats, tear dogs to bits, and carry rabies. If given half a chance, they'll wipe out a whole flock of chickens and leave them dead just for the pure meanness. See there, the visitor howled. That's what I mean. Folklore. Every word. Legend and old wives' tales. Of course there are a few mischievous curs in every pack, but far more noble ones. But the mob always focuses on troublemakers that give the rest a bad name. As time goes by, suspicion takes hold, and it's all but impossible to break out of the intolerant mold, so that no one can change. Interesting. The farmer moved, closed the door. Goodbye. But I'm a vegan, the visitor bayed. What? The couple said in unison, reopening the door. A vegan? It's true. I only eat grains, kale, nuts, collard greens, and so forth. Oh, come off it, the man cried in a mocking tone. No, it's true. I gave up the messy red meat business long ago. All right, he scoffed, unable to hide his disdain. No, seriously, I'm ashamed to say I was ever tasted the ghastly substance. All that blood and gore, yuck! The mere mention of guts, feathers, eyeballs, and whatnot makes me nauseous. Just the sight of a chicken processing plant gives me the heebie-jeebies. I've had a change of heart, I tell you. And a pig's eye, he returned, easing the door farther closed while edging back, ready to slam it. You're not serious. See there, the furry visitor yowled. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Pure D closed-minded bigotry, like talking to a brick wall. Only a fool would believe a leopard could change its spot, the farmer argued, or a grasshopper become a butterfly. You're a racist, that's what. Oh dear, the wife complained. There's that word again. Please don't say that so loud, as the neighbors might hear. Okay, I'll prove it, the fur-covered stranger claimed. Heretofore, I give my solemn word of honor and renounce any and all relationship with the canine breed, whether wild or domesticated. Words, the farmer countered. Why should we believe you? I asked myself once, what has that pack ever done for me? Nothing. Not a blamed thing. Whenever there was a kill, the big shots got first pickings while I sat back and tried to hold down my oats and wild honey breakfast. No, siree. That's the last for me. I'm sick of the pack mocking me for not shooing away buzzards like the others. I tell you that life's unfit for pest or parasite. So I want no more to do with my fellow scavengers. Why go through such humiliation when there's an abundance of grass, berries, hay, and mushrooms all around? No, siree, Bob. Vegetarian is the only way to go. I doubt that, the farmer chimed in. Like my father always told me as a little boy, once a carnivore, always a carnivore. Oh, words of a true blue bigot. If not for that one phrase alone, there'd be no discrimination at all. You don't say, the farmer mused, beginning to sound doubtful. He even let his stapler fall to his side while leaning a shoulder against the wood edge of the door frame. I never thought of it in those terms. But now I better understand your situation. There were times at my house growing up when I waited to eat also on my older brothers who'd been out working in the field, or else when company came and all us kids had to wait until the adults finished. If I had to endure that every meal, like you just described, I think I'd get a little miffed too. See there, you understand. It's very humiliating being second class. Perhaps so, the farmer conceded. On the other hand, this sounds a little bit like the politicians that are always pitching to us, telling us how they'll look out for us and help us, and never do. Oh, I see your point, the furry stranger admitted. You're skeptical, and I don't blame you one bit. So allow me to explain how all this misinformation got started. Many years ago, a rancher's kid had a favorite dog named Old Yeller, who got rabies and had to be killed. That kid grew up and made a movie about it and blamed my breed. Because of that movie, farmers began setting traps and shooting my relatives and hanging their carcasses on barbed wire fences. It's true, the farmer's wife exclaimed. I've seen such. You can't hardly drive through the country no more without passing fences with them pitiful dried up hides hanging on the barbed wire. Sometimes whole packs of them. Oh, Oh, and never mind, the stranger enjoyed. They represent some poor cub's mom or dad, or possibly grandparent, if the latter should be lucky enough to avoid being poisoned or shot, the fur-coated visitor bayed. It's all too cruel. So I decided it was time to change people's perception. First off, I became a vegan and then began a door-to-door campaign to convince farmers anyone can change. Nobody has to stay as they were born. So I hope after listening you both are wise enough to realize nothing is what it appears. Distrust the obvious. That's my motto. Instinct and common sense must be subject to the voices of experts who go through all the trouble, not to mention money, to become certified professionals with degrees. You don't say, the farmer repeated, evidently the phrase being a favorite of his. I guess Ma and me are pretty isolated out on this farm, so far from you city guys. What with all your book learning and universities and such, it's hard keeping up with modern ways away out here in the sticks, like the young'uns are always teasing us, you know? Oh, sure I do. I know that, the hairy visitor agreed. But just the same, you must make an effort to keep up with the latest trend. Times have changed. It's a new world out there. The way folks used to think is outdated, old-fashioned, passé, in the dustbin. Modernization, that's a ticket. My hubby and I are might proud you come by and bother to talk at us, the farmer's wife said, her initial resistance lessening from the sound. And we're ever so glad to hear of your conversion away from red meat. But if you don't mind my asking, how are we to be sure you're not trying to fool us? Oh, easy, the wolf look-alike said. I'll prove to you I'm a vegan Oh, darn, now I remember. I forgot to bring my veggie snack along. I must have left the sack at the last farmhouse while enjoying a soybean burger and celery fries with them. Otherwise, I'd devour a head of lettuce or two for you right now. What's 80 carrots? The farmer's wife asked. Huh? The hairy visitor barked and coughed as if the idea got stuck in his throat. Oh, no, I don't want to take advantage. It was never my idea to be a bother to anyone. No bother at all, the farmer's wife insisted. I just this afternoon pulled them from the garden and washed them. Here, let me get one for you. No, the shag-covered stranger howled. I ate a couple of onions and garlics, which is why I didn't come closer. My breath, you know. I thought you said a soybean burger and celery fries, the farmer asked. Oh, that too. Please don't. Here we are, the farmer's wife interrupted him, returning with a handful of orange stalks with the green parsley-like top still attached. She held a carrot out the door as far as she could. The wolfish face bit off the tip with a snap of its spiky teeth, and chewed with eyes squinted shut as if eating a stink bug, then twisting its head and craning its neck, swallowing. Oh, my wonderful, but really, I can't eat another bite, he apologized. I have, let's see, a toothache, yeah, that's it. Oh, brother, does it hurt? I'll do better next time I stop by. How about something soft like a turnip casserole, the farmer's wife offered, withdrawing the carrots. No, thank you so much, really, the visitor bayed. After eating the bushel of straw at the last house, I'm really stuffed. First a soybean burger, then onions and cornbread, and now a haystack, the farmer marveled. Boy, howdy, you got some appetite. Anyway, it's past our bedtime, so is there anything else we can do for you? Oh, nothing. I just came by to say howdy and wondered if it'd be all right if I stopped by now and then to chat. I don't see no harm in that, farmer said. By the way, now that we're on friendly terms and no longer who we took you for, what do you go by? How do we call you? What's your name? Oh, I'm sorry. I completely neglected to introduce myself. I usually have better manners. Just call me Clyde the Duck. Quack, quack. A duck, the farmer's wife gulped, dropping the carrots and clasping her cheek in both hands. Why, I declare, the only ducks I ever seen have beaks. "Oh, sorry," he apologized. "I forgot something." He turned around and fumbled a bit, then turned back, and the sight made both the farmer and his wife jerk back. "There, that's better," he said. "Heavens to Betsy!" the farmer's wife proclaimed. "No wonder you didn't care for my carrots. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got roaches. Want one?" "No, no, thank you," he bade, then smiled. "And those teeth," she marveled. "I never seen so many, and so sharp. For a duck? I've a dentist appointment next week to get them pulled, and then after my hair removal appointment, I'm due for a platypus prosthesis. I'll have the prettiest beak you ever saw." "Congratulations," she offered. "But one more question, if it ain't too much bother. Mind showing us your wings?" "Why, these?" The poultry inspector turned around and pulled 2 strings attached to a belt around his haunches, and sure enough, 2 wings opened up. He even flapped them by opening and shutting the wings. "They're not much good for flying yet, until I grow feathers." "Feathers?" the farmer intruded. "Looks more like fur to me. I ain't seen so much as one quill." "Phew, I'm used to such criticism by now," the hairy duck sighed, while rolling his head so that he had to straighten the duck bill he wore. "Neither do I lay eggs, crow at sunrise, nor make good fried chicken, but mix my meat with jalapenos, cut up chili peppers, diced garlic, and habaneros. Makes a mighty dish, I allow." "Yow!" He let out a yowl that might have been laughter or agony from the sound. "As far as feathers go, I'm aware they can't be seen, but they're growing. I use a product called Lassiter's Feather Starter, and already they are tiny sprouts that itch like crazy." "Never heard of such," the farmer chuckled. "You suppose the product will do anything for my bald head?" "Oh, if you want to look like Geronimo." They all 3 laughed, but the farmer and his wife stopped suddenly at the stranger's chilling, wolfish cackle. "We best close the door now," the farmer's wife commented. "Looks like the wind might blow up a storm." "We're so glad you stopped by," the farmer continued. "And to hear of your change of appetite, if that's the right term, to a vegan. I wish more of your kind would do the same." "Oh, there are," the stranger howled. "Lots and lots. It's the in thing now. That's why I have to get along. You see, several of us have formed a club. We'll call ourselves the Wily Flock." "How nice," the farmer's wife chimed in. "All of you must come by, and we'll have us a mess of collard greens." "Oh, we will," the critter yapped. "If you don't mind unlocking the high-security coop of yours by the barn, I'll check your chickens for any trace of bird flu." "Oh, it's unlocked. We don't put the chickens inside and lock up until we go to bed." "Oh, good," the furry visitor yowled. "And while there, I'll see how many want to join our club. It's all quite fun. If you hear a lot of cackling and hurrahing, it'll be us having a grand time. We might have a snort or two, and sometimes the meeting get rowdy, so don't do something silly like releasing dogs out of the pen. Hound dogs are notoriously close-minded about such things." "Oh, I don't know about that," the farmer said in a wary tone. "Seeing as how them feathers of yours ain't growed yet, our hens might mistake you for who we took you to be at first. Chickens are a mite shy by nature, and don't like being seen by one who ain't like 'em, even if you do call yourself a fowl. They're not used to an unfeathered species walking in and exposing their most private activity like laying eggs and no telling what all. They'll likely kick up a fuss." "Oh, don't give it another thought," the furry fowl murmured in a low growl. "I promise you we'll all be whooping it up in no time and having us a grand old time. Quack, quack." That night, the couple awoke to such a racket as if an earthquake caused their barn to implode. They ran outside in their nightclothes to find the coop gate wide open. To their horror, inside were bits of bone, guts, parts of chicken, feathers, and taloned feet scattered everywhere. "Ah!" The farmer screamed. I knew it. I knew it. I suspected something the second he said he was the new poultry inspector. But did I listen? No. That fella ain't been a poultry inspector long enough to know how clever coyotes can be. Dang wolves figured how to slip the latch as that fool young poultry inspector must have not made sure the lock clicked shut. I almost done so myself a time or two. Oh, why didn't I warn him to jerk down on the lock to make sure it holds? Now we're wiped out. Not entirely, the farmer's wife comforted her husband. Of course we are. Look around this coop. They're all dead, every last one. What the coyotes didn't eat, they tore to pieces just for fun. Our business is wiped out, I tell you. No eggs to sell to customers. No plump hens to deliver to market. We're busted, broke, flat wiped out. You'll have to get a job cleaning houses, and maybe I can mow lawns or something. Hold on now, the farmer's wife cautioned. We still have our pet chicks inside the house, safe and sound. We'll put them in the coop tonight and start over. It won't take long to build up a flock. Only this time, be sure to leave a note on the door for the poultry inspector to jiggle the lock after latching it. For more short clips, plus a 40 visual series raised by demons, plus books, plus videos, go to thereisageneration.com. All one word, thereisageneration.com.